right, you guys, welcome back to the Overcomer podcast. I'm your host, Jenicka Lopez. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm excited because I have the one, the only, the beautiful Bella. I don't want to butcher your last name. How do you say it?
Retamosa.
Yeah. You see how she says it? I can't. I didn't want to butcher. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to get clipped to get fucked up about it. But I'm so happy that you're here. Obviously, this is our first time meeting. And obviously, you know, please get comfortable. Please feel at home. I know that's hard, especially, you know, as people meeting for the first time. But I promise you, I don't bite. No, but I've seen you. I think more than anything, I'm a huge fan of the mother that you are. I seen your content about your baby boy, and that's literally all that it is on your page. And I love that. But I also know that you have another life. Like, obviously, you know, your career and whatever you do, like, I want to get into it. I want to know Bella. I want to know how she grew up and where she's at now, because I know that you've been on other podcasts, but your first time here.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So let's get into it, because we were already talking about our BBLs and getting our bodies done and all that. But I want to know when you were born, your childhood. Yeah. Like, how was it for you growing up? Obviously, you have a son, right? What's his name? Noah, yes. I know, I was in my head, I'm like, the Ark. Noah's Ark. No. How old is he?
He's 3.
Oh.
He'll be 4 in June.
I love that age. I have nieces and nephews, like, at that age, and I think it's the most sweetest, like, their love. And he's a boy, and, like, I'm sure he adores you. He's a mama's boy.
Mama's boy for sure.
I love it. Okay, well, I'm going to pass the mic to you. Please introduce yourself for those that don't know you, your childhood, what you do, all that good stuff.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Bella. I am a lifestyle content creator. I've been on social media since 2021. I started during COVID.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't been in the game as long as others, but it feels like a long time.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine for people like that were there in the start. But anyway, so I started in 2021. I started making content with my son's dad, and we started like as like a couples, right. And then we grew into a family, and now I'm more like solo mommy content. But I grew up in a family of 6. There's 3 boys and 3 girls. Yeah.
Okay.
And I was the second to youngest.
Okay.
So
I'm the second youngest too.
Oh, yeah. Everyone else was older than me. So they're all like in their 30s now. And then I have a younger sister who's 23.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Cute. I'm 27. So
nice.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, my dad was pretty strict growing up, especially with the girls.
Of course. Latinos.
Yes. That's the worst. Like, I hated it.
Where's your family from?
Like, I looked at him
Sonora?
For everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
My grandma's from there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so my family's, So I get it. They're strict, you know.
Yeah.
They're
yeah. Mainly, like, my life growing up was literally just, like, living at sports games. That's all it was. Because of the
boys?
Yes, literally baseball games, baseball practices. That's all it was. But I can't complain. I feel like I lived a very good childhood. Like, never went a night without eating. So yeah, forever blessed for my parents.
I love that.
Yeah, the life that they gave us. I think now, being a mom, like, I have so much respect for my parents. Like, they had 6 kids, and they always made it happen. Like,
right.
I hear so many stories of like my friends and like how they grew up, and or like just like my son's father, like how he grew up, and my life was totally different.
Right.
So yeah,
it's hard when somebody else lives a different life than you, and then you kind of like trying to mesh that and understand each other. It's like complicated.
Yeah.
It's like, but no, like, I'm not this person, and like, but I want you to understand me, but I also want to understand you. So I get that. Like, it's like, because my family, obviously, you know, if I don't know if you know, but people know that, like, you know, my mom was a singer and all that stuff. And I've witnessed struggle with, you know, how my mom took care of. She was a single mom of 5. So it's like, I've seen it, but a lot of people don't know that. And obviously she worked hard and, like, you know, did what she could for all 5 of us. And whatever. So a lot of people think, I'm as I'm spoiled or like whatever. And realistically, it's not. Maybe like other people were, but I still maintain like some type of humbleness and just like I'm still a normal person and would love to like connect with people on a different level, if that makes sense. So that's why I was like, oh, you know what? I'm like, I want to sit down. Let's have a chit chat with Bella. Like, I want to know like, who she is and like. Obviously, was your boy planned?
No.
No? Okay, so take me through that. What happened? Like,
yeah, I was so scared. So I was 21 when I got pregnant, and my son's dad was 20.
Okay.
So pretty young.
How long had you guys been together?
Maybe 2.5, 3 years.
Okay.
But we already had like our social media thing going.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but at the time my dad was still strict. Like he wasn't allowed to be in my room at my house.
Okay, because you still lived there.
Yes, I still lived with my parents. So yeah, and it was like I had to be home by a certain time.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It was like 11 o'clock. Where are you at? What time are you coming home? So my parents were still very much strict. Like I was not allowed to go on vacation. Nothing.
Right.
None of that with my boyfriend. So, I literally just had a feeling like I didn't miss my period. Well, it had been like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, but it wasn't like alarming.
It wasn't anything out of the ordinary because I had such an irregular period.
Right.
So I wasn't like, oh my gosh, it's been 3 months and nothing. I just literally had a feeling. And like 2 days before, I had a dream that I was like talking to a baby girl and she was like calling me mommy. And I woke up with my hand on my stomach. And that's what made me take a pregnancy test.
That's literally God talking to you. Oh my God. Okay.
And it turned out to not be a girl, but I had so many dreams about a baby girl that I thought that I was gonna have a girl. But so that made me like be like, I need to take a pregnancy test. And I had told my son's dad, and he's like, no, you're not pregnant. And so I was like, we literally even made a bet about it. I don't remember what the bet was, but we made a bet. He's like, I bet you you're not. I bet you you're not. So we had gone to get a pregnancy test, and then he took me back home to drop me off. And I took it in my parents' bathroom upstairs.
Oh my God, girl.
I was so scared. I was being so quiet. And then positive, and I was like, oh, like this wasn't the first pregnancy test that I've taken.
Right.
I feel like every girl takes them. Like, oh my gosh, I'm
of course,
so scared.
the scare. Like, yeah, of course.
So I had taken a couple before, but
she's like, it's gonna be negative.
Yes, always negative. So when I saw the positive, like right away, I was like, oh my gosh, and he was still waiting outside. So I had like shoved it in my pocket, and I went downstairs, and I told him, I'm like, oh my gosh. He was so chill though, like totally different families. Like his mom would have been like, okay.
Right.
But mine, it's like totally different. So
right.
I think we went like 2 months without telling my family.
Okay.
And then one day he was just like, we have to tell them. Like, we have to. Like, we need to know if you need to go to the doctor, like what you need to do.
Of course.
Because we were looking everything up on Google. Like, when should you see a doctor when you find out you're pregnant? And he's like, we need to tell them. Like, we need to know like what to do. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So I stayed, he had an apartment at this time, and I stayed at his apartment, and he's like, I'll just go tell them myself.
No.
Yes, dude, I was so scared.
Okay, manly. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Scary. Like, I would shit my pants, but go off.
I shut off my phone, and he went to tell my parents, and my mom cried, and she said that she already knew. So I'm like,
mother's
girl,
instincts.
are you just saying that? But she was like, yeah, I already knew. Tell her, like, just to come home. And then my dad was just like, okay, tell her to come home. But it wasn't the reaction I was expecting.
You thought it was going to be like...
I thought it was going to be like...
get the fuck out my house type shit?
Not necessarily them kicking me out, but I thought that they were going to be so mad, like give lectures and all of that. But
were you used to that growing up that way?
My brother had a kid in high school.
Oh, okay. So you saw what it was. Okay.
My sister, whole nother story. Also, like... moved to Texas with her mom and like just popped out a baby, and that's how my dad found out, is when she had the baby. Okay. So I feel like they just had a lot of like there was a lot of trauma.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was expecting like a different reaction because they all had kids super young, and it was like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do?
Right.
Like I became a Thea in like kindergarten. Yeah. So I was just expecting them to react different, but honestly I think because we already had like an income going for us, that they were like, okay, like
You guys
they
got
can
it.
do it. Yeah. So they weren't really like scared for us. But I came home back that night, and then they just cried, and then the next morning made my doctor's appointment for me.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, it went a lot easier than I was expecting.
And was this before or after Body Down first time? Or came for?
I had the baby first, and then I got
after.
my body done.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So we'll skip that for right now. So obviously you had him.
Yes.
Love him. How has life been as a mom these last 3 years?
Gosh. Well, the beginning was not what I expected at all. Super hard. So hard. Like, so I was comparing myself a lot to the other, like, girls who were pregnant at the same time as me, because I feel like I got pregnant as like a couple other like influencers who already had their body done. So like after, I'm like, girl, how come you were able to snap back like right away? Like,
Right.
girl, I
That
was
shit
like
that scares
crying.
me.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, now that I got my body, I'm like, and they tell you to wait to have kids. I'm like, I do not want to. Like, when am I gonna have kids? I don't know. I'd rather be bodied down now,
Right.
than to have kids.
Yeah.
But that is scary. It's like, damn, like you invest all this money and all this time and
Yeah.
the healing and all that. But I mean, you got yours done after.
Yeah.
But obviously, you were saying that it was hard. It was difficult, right? And how was it with your baby dad? You guys aren't together.
No.
Okay. Can I ask why? Or what shifted or what changed?
And when we first started dating, we were super young. He was 18, I was 19. It was so toxic. So toxic.
You
And
guys young.
obviously, I know, and I think that it stems a lot from the way he was raised.
Right.
And the difference from the way he was raised to the way I was raised. And I think that like had everything to do with it. Like I would tell him like, we have to go to therapy. Like we have to figure this out. And he was totally like anti-therapy. Like, I don't need that. I don't need that. Like, that's not going to do nothing for me. Like, how is this random person going to tell me like, what? So we were super, super toxic as teens. Like so toxic. But things got better like when we started doing social media together and like making that income. Like we became more like a team. And then when I got pregnant, he was the best. Like I could not have asked for a better partner. Like super caring, super loving, like did everything I needed. Like I would literally lay in bed and sleep all day, and he would just like buy me food, rub my feet. Like I could not have asked for a better partner. And then after 2, same thing. He was good. But I feel like what really caused like the problems after birth was it was just so hard to like care for a newborn. And then I feel like not having that one-on-one time like with him, and like me being tired, overstimulated, like figuring out motherhood, him like figuring out how to be a dad, and then also like working together. Oh my gosh, it would be like, we need to film, we need to do that. And I'm like, I'm tired. Like, I was up all night. So, like, I feel like the tension was just, like, there. Like, any little thing would cause an argument. But, yeah, eventually he was just like, no, like, this is not working anymore. And then we continued to live together for a year. We broke up for a year.
Okay.
And I lived with him still.
How was that?
Honestly,
like, would you date other people? Would he date other people?
I don't know what he was doing.
I know what I was
but
doing.
I was so in love with him. Like, I wasn't expecting to cry, but, like, I was, like, so in love with him that, like, I could not, like...
You didn't see anything else.
Yeah. So, like, that's the whole reason I stayed there for the whole year, was because, like, I was like, there's no way that, like, I could be with someone else. Like, I want my family together. Aww. Dude, I would literally be crying, like, holding my baby. Like, I'm so sorry that I did this, like, to you. Like, all I wanted was for him. I wasn't expecting to cry, but I wasn't, like, I never, ever, ever wanted that for my son. So, like, I felt like I let him down.
Yeah. And I feel like I feel that because like when you have a kid, you want to be able just to have that loving surrounding family.
Yeah.
And give that to them and like have this perfect idea and this like everything that's in your head.
Like since I was a little girl, that's all I ever imagined like was getting married, having kids. Like, so I feel like when I had my baby with him, like that's everything that I wanted. And I would like literally expect like the engagement ring. Yeah. So like the breakup, I was like, huh?
Like it threw you off.
Yeah. And so like I felt so bad for my baby, and that's why I stayed living there with him, because I was like, there's no way I can be separated from my son and share him. And like I really just wanted nothing more than to be with my son's dad at the time. And then we got back together and like tried to make things work for a little bit, and then we just broke up again. And then that's where I was like, okay, I can't keep doing this. Thank you. Yeah. I was like, I can't keep doing this. And then things kind of started getting a little bit toxic.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I think it's best that like I move out. And
all right, you guys, we're going to go on a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, you guys. Co-parenting's good.
Yeah, it's
healthy.
Really, really good. Super healthy. Like, I could not have asked for a better co-parent. I see all of these like toxic.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
I see all these videos on TikToks of like moms dropping off their babies with like their dad, and like they do like the little POV and stuff like that. Like, oh, come drop off my baby, co-parenting with their toxic. And I'm like, and then they spill the beans, and I'm like, I mean, I kind of live for it, you know, obviously. Yeah. Like I'm watching, I'm like, damn, you know, crazy. But it's like, it's better. It's better for your son. It's better for you. Yeah. Because then that's also another stress and a lot of worry. Like, is he okay? Is my son okay? And having that confidence that your baby daddy's going to take care of him.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. And I feel like that's what gives me so much peace of mind, is that we're on such a good, like, stage in our relationship right now that like I can call him and like talk to him. Like we talk about everything. Like
you guys are best friends.
Yes. I'm like so like we're in such a good place in our relationship right now. It was really rough when I had first moved out. But now we're like at such a good stage in our relationship, and it makes things easier. Like I can call you and FaceTime you for 30 minutes and see what my son's doing, or we can take him to Disneyland, and things like aren't weird. So
that mutual respect.
Yes. It makes things so much easier.
Now, I want to know how it is when you guys are dating other people, because this sounds really good. Obviously, great co-parenting, but I'm gonna be honest with you. As a girl, I don't know. Maybe everybody can, you know, chime in, and whoever's watching and stuff. But like, if my man's has a kid with somebody else, like, you know, I get like the birthday parties and I get going out. Like, I don't know about Disney.
Girl,
like, or like things like that.
I 100% agree. I said I would never date a man who has a kid.
Okay.
Having a kid.
Okay.
Because I would never. Right. Maybe it's toxic, but I would never tolerate that.
Okay, but the thing is, how do you guys do? Have you dated and he knows, or has he dated and he knows?
I've been in like talking stages, but I've never been in like
another
full relationship.
But does
like,
he know
something serious? Yes, he knew about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it toxic? Did he get toxic about it?
No, but and to be honest, I'm not sure if he ever told me this. Like he didn't want the guy around my son. But like he didn't care what I did. He just didn't want the guy around my son.
All right.
Only because he knew like that the relationship was like, and it was valid. He just knew that it wasn't nothing serious. And he's like, you shouldn't be bringing my son around like this guy.
Right. Yeah.
So I thought it was very valid. And honestly, I don't know what he's doing. He says that he's not dating anyone, but I know that my son has been around like other girls because he'll tell me.
Oh, your son will tell you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you see, I don't get guys though. Like, why do you play that game? If you can't, girl, why can you?
So you know what happened? My son had a birthday party in the summer, and at the time we weren't like super. We were kind of rocky in our co-parenting relationship. And I had saw this girl there, but she looked super young. But I'm like, who is this girl? But she was hanging out with his younger brother. So in my head, I'm like, oh, that's his little girlfriend. Because the girl was tiny. I just thought it was the brother's girlfriend, so I brushed it off. Later on, I see on my TikTok For You page, the girl with him.
Oh, so TikTok helped you out.
Yeah.
Basically.
And so I sent it to him and I was like, why was this girl at my son's birthday party?
Oh,
and he goes, that's my brother's friend.
Uh-huh.
I let it slide. I'm like, whatever. I don't want problems.
I guess. Uh-huh.
Time goes on. I see another video on my For You page of her like in like a thong and like he's like hanging her upside down and like her thong's like slipping out her pants and it like they did a trend, but I'm like, you are not being that friendly. Like I started spying. I'm like, you're not that friendly with your brother's friend.
Right.
And then it goes, oh, she's my assistant.
You guys swear like, oh,
I'm like, why is your assistant at my son's birthday party? Oh, she gets everything from my videos.
What? And what? She wasn't even doing anything.
No, she was just standing there. Like she brought her little brother along for the ride too. Like there was a little boy there with her.
Oh my!
So it was like full on. Like she was just there to like hang out.
Right.
So I'm like, whatever. I'm not gonna push the issue. One thing about me is I'm super like almost like too chill. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like I just don't want
you let things slide.
Yes, because for my son, I'm like,
you don't want to have the argument. Yes. You don't want. Yes, girl.
But then later on, like I wanted to take my son to see Inside Out 2. And he was like, I told him, I'm like, baby, like, oh, we should go see this movie. And he's like, oh, mom, I already saw it with dad and the girl's name. Not even just the girl. He said her full on name. I was like, oh. And I told him, I'm like, how come my son is telling me that he went to the movies to go see like the movies with this girl? And he just starts laughing. I'm like, oh my gosh.
So, okay. So how do you like, now that that's happening, like, is there like some type of boundary or like?
No, but honestly, I'm not even sure what to think about him and like that relationship. Like, I don't think they're doing.
Or relationships in general. Look, because me, at least for me, if I'm going into a relationship with a man that has a baby, as a woman, but this is just me, and maybe a lot of women don't think like me. I don't want to meet your son unless we're like for real. Mm-hmm. Because I love kids and like I know the importance of that. Like, I get attached. Yeah. I'm the problem. Like, because I know I work well with kids, so it's like I set that rule for me, and even like as a respect as like a man, like or the baby mama.
Yes,
like
I agree.
As a woman, like I don't want to overstep your boundaries or what you like. You're at the end of the day, you're the mom. Like, there's no one gonna take your spot. Just know that I'm gonna love and take care of your kid as well. So it's kind of just like, God, I don't know. Like, obviously guys don't really think, you know, clearly. But it's like, I feel like it's like common sense.
Yes.
That's like, what I think you can't just be introducing some random ass woman to a baby. Like, what kind of example are you also setting? Yeah. For your son? Yeah. Like, or also that idea, like what, you know, like as a respect to you too. What if he decided to call her mom one day? You know, like, and that's not cool for you either without you even knowing, right? I don't know. I've dated men with, you know, kids, and I just, it's a lot. Yeah. And it's like, it's a journey, and it's like, I just know that I'm not ready to meet somebody or meet their family in general without making sure like all these boxes are checked off. And it's like, I think it's just healthier that way. Yeah. For sure. Because, you know, it's a baby. Like, they're young. They have like emotions and feelings, and you just got to take care of them too. And I feel like it's just maybe a little bit selfish. I don't know. You know? Yeah. But I'm happy that you guys have a healthy relationship and co-parenting. That's very beneficial for the baby, for sure. But so you guys don't do content anymore then?
Here and there, yeah. Like, he'll ask me to like film videos, but I kind of stopped with him for a while because this guy that I was talking to, like, my baby daddy was like, for some reason, his like biggest op. Like, he never met him, nothing, but I think he honestly just like jealousy of how like successful he was and
insecure. I'm gonna
so
call it insecure. Sorry.
He like didn't compare to him at all, but he like me filming with my son's dad was like off limits, like totally cheating to him.
Okay.
That's how he felt.
Yeah.
So we stopped for a while, but now we do it like here and there, but it's nothing like it used to be before. Like if I see like a trend, I'm like, oh, do this with me. But
do you guys think as maybe if you get a little older, you guys would get back together? I don't know. Look, I'm gonna be totally transparent. I don't know anything like, and maybe people think that I should, but I like not knowing because I want to know what you really think, what you really feel, and without the opinions of everybody else.
Honestly, I don't know. Like, I think about it a lot, and I feel like for my son, it's something that like I want to do only because it makes life like so much easier.
Right.
Like I hate having to share him. And I always think like I feel so guilty because I'm like, what happens if I meet a guy one day and I have a kid with him and my son is never going to be fully in my life. Like he will never, like I will always have him only 50%.
You always have to share. Yeah.
So like what if I want to go to Disneyland? What if we want to like certain stuff like my son's not going to be present for it, and that just makes me so sad. Like I feel like he'll think that like I'm like replacing him or like starting like over, like starting a new family, like, and I can never give him like his family.
Right.
So I think about that a lot, but honestly, I don't know like what the future has in store. I feel like it's nothing that's like never again.
Right.
But honestly, right now I'm like not even really thinking about it. I feel like I'm like
you're happy
thriving and happy on my own right now, but I'm not like opposed to the.
I mean, obviously, as like time goes by and like you guys get older and like probably more mature, like you guys were together probably very young, super young. So it's like, you know, all that is in your head is that toxicity and like this. But I think with growth, maybe, who knows? I like that you have the door a little bit open, it's like a crack, like you're like it's about to be shut, but
we'll see. Like every other week is open shut. So we'll see.
All right, so I want to know, girl, you've gotten 3 BBLs. How? Why? What?
Like, I need to stop going to Korean barbecue.
No. Okay, so let's walk me through what made you want to get your body done, like.
Honestly.
And why 3? Why are we here? What's going on?
Honestly, it's something that I've always wanted to do since high school. Okay. Girl, like I would put the shirts in my butt and like stare at myself in the mirror because of the Kardashians.
She's like
because of the Kardashians, like I would be like, damn, like if I just had a little bit of ass. Right. But yeah, my build like before my BBLs was like literally stick, no boobs, no butt, nothing.
Right.
So after I gave birth, I was like at my lowest point, like mentally. Right. Like I hated my body. Like I would not be able to go out. One day I went to the club for, my friend was hosting the club and I was getting ready and I literally sat there crying. Like I hate the way I look and everything that I'm wearing. Right. And I'm going to go next to all these girls who look amazing. Like I just felt like I was at my lowest point. And then, I was like, I've always wanted to get a BBL. Right. So as soon as I got to that point, I had met with a doctor, but he said that I had to wait at least 6 months after giving birth for like my muscles to go back into place. So as soon as I literally scheduled the appointment for that 6-month mark to get my surgery.
She's like, not 1 second later, not 1 second sooner.
So as soon as it hit the 6-month mark, I got my surgery and I just wasn't satisfied. Okay. So I did another one. I did them all in Beverly Hills.
Same doctor?
No, all different doctors.
She said, I'm going on a trial run. Yes. Like, we're testing all the flavors.
Yes. So my son's dad paid for 2 of them.
Okay.
The first 2.
You know what? I agree to that because, you know, as someone that's gotten their body done before kids, like, I need that to be known. Like, if you want me to look this body down.
Mommy makeover.
You're paying for the next one. Like, if you want me to have kids, you better have that deposit ready. Like, be ready because you're going to, if you still want to fall in love with me with this ass and this waist, like, pay up, baby. But, okay,
Yeah, so I got the first one. And then literally as soon as I did another consultation, like, oh, I'm not happy. And they're like, yeah, well, you still have like more fat that we could do another one. Right. And then they told me like, oh, it doesn't always happen. Like, you don't always get the looks you want the first time. Like, usually you have to do 2-3 rounds, which I'm like,
I don't know about that.
No, but that's what I was told. So we did the first one. I was like, okay, happier, but not what I wanted. And then we did another one. And then my family was like, you need to chill. They thought that I was addicted to surgery.
I mean,
like, be so for real. Like, my mom was genuinely like, you're addicted. Like, you need to stop.
Okay.
So I did the second one, and then I did the last one after. Well, I got my boobs done as I was moving out from my son's dad.
This girl.
So like we were like, I got them done, and then we like were fighting, and like literally the next week I was out.
Oh my god.
But the boobs I had to pay for myself. He didn't want to pay for that because we broke up. So I paid for that. I got a breast lift and then implants, and then. During that surgery, I had told him, oh, I also got chin lipo.
You know what? To each their own. Girl, you're a woman of your own body. You can do whatever the hell you want. Yeah. For sure. Have you gotten judged for it a lot because of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, and then, so as I like did the augmentation, I told him like, oh, like, by the way, I also like I'm thinking about getting another BBL. Like I've had 2, and he was like, "Yeah, you definitely could." But we had to get fat from like other places because I didn't have a lot. And the first 2 times I only got it from like your 360, and then this time I had to get it from my arms, my thighs.
She's like, the next one's gonna be the toes. There's nowhere else to get it from.
Literally. Oh my God. And that one I was already like separated from my son's dad and living on my own, and he was the only one who knew that I was getting the surgery. None of my family knew. So, and at the time we were doing 50-50, like you have him here, I have him there. So I scheduled it for when I didn't have my son. I'm so crazy. Like, how are you going to recover from a BBL and take care of a 3-year-old on your own?
Not 1, but 3.
Yes.
Right after.
So crazy.
Okay, so if he's 3, what's the timeline of the surgery?
1 BBL each year.
I know.
Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was probably like 1 each year.
You're just not satisfied with it?
Yeah, and I'm still not. Like, I love the way that I look, but I feel like it's a little bit too natural for my liking. Like I want just a little bit more. You know when you're like super swollen after surgery, like your butt? That's what I like.
And cute.
Yes. But then
when it sets down, gravity does its thing.
Yeah, I'm like, where's my ass at? And for 3 times, I'm like, this does not look like it.
She's like, not for this amount of money. Like,
dude, when I get the comments, your BBL looks so natural, I'm like, oh, that's not what I want to hear.
No. But I think, honestly, you're beautiful. You're gorgeous. I do want to say she just confirmed to me that her nose is not fake, and I hate it. And I wish that she said that she got it done, because I'm going to be hating. I love it. Like, I've been too scared to do it. But you are very beautiful. Thank you. I think with or without surgery, I think your heart is gold. And you seem and you look and you are, in case nobody ever tells you, you are a good mother and a good person. So don't ever feel like you're less than, or that, because, you know, it's normal. You had a postpartum. You know, women are meant to feel like that. Even if I haven't had kids, I've had very low moments where I'm just like, I fucking hate my body. I hate what I look like. And so I get what that means. But as from a girl to a girl's girl, you're very beautiful. And you deserve all the love. No, thank you. Stop. No, but I just feel like it's important, like, to remind people, like, you know, and if you're guys judging her because of all these surgeries, then don't be a hater, because you just can't. You couldn't. And you just, you know, you would want to. Right. But it is what it is. And all right, you guys, we're going to go on a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, you guys. You also do OnlyFans as well, which, go ahead, girl, go off, do what you want to do. I did it for a little bit too.
Oh, period.
I did. I don't anymore. Tried it out, just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
I want to know what led you there. How's that experience for you? all that?
I think I found out because my friend was doing it at the time and she was doing really, really well on there. And she was telling me that, like, she wasn't even posting, like, crazy stuff.
Right.
Like, I don't know if you know that girl, Sophie Rain.
I feel like I've heard of her.
Yeah, she, like, doesn't even do nothing on there.
Okay.
Like, multi-millionaire, and she's 18 years old.
Go off, Sophie.
18 years old. Girl, I can't believe you haven't heard of her. She's, like, going crazy right now.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, so I was just thinking, like, okay, like, let me get on there and, like, try it out and just see, like, where it takes me. And I've been doing, like, good on there, and I don't post, like, the craziest things. Like, I feel like people think OF and they instantly think, like,
it's a bad negative
tape,
yeah,
like but there's people on there that literally post, like, working out content. Like, what it is for you to subscribe to a creator to get, like, personal content.
Like, you're messaging them and
like, it's more like a personal level. But my content is, like, not that bad, honestly. It's just more of like an explicit version of me, like, just, like, without the sweatsuit on. But yeah, I get it. I get so much hate for it because I'm a mom,
right?
And I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, come on, like, my 3-year-old lives a very good life,
right? And you want to maintain that also.
Yes, and I'm like, he has a savings account.
Love it.
He has a Roth IRA.
Love it.
Like, he is set up for the future. And why am I going to stop, like, when I'm at my prime and I could be doing stuff for him like this and setting him up? Like,
exactly.
And everyone's, like, telling me, like, your son's going to hate you. Like, you're such a bad mom. I can't believe you would do this. I'm like, maybe, like, there's that possibility, but I also think he's gonna be very happy when he gets to
at that
19
time,
and, like, has all of this money in his bank.
Yeah, and when the time comes, if you ever want to explain that to him, like, I think that's a learning lesson, like, not even just, like, not to judge other people, because there's obviously people that do other things that are actual strippers or prostitutes or whatever, and it's like there's a difference, and no matter what, like, not to judge those people. It's like a learning experience, and people can do as they please, and maybe it wasn't for me and it works out for you, and that's amazing. Like, there's no shame in whatever women want to do with their bodies and how they want to do it. But growing up with strict parents, do they know? Or how was that?
If I'm being honest, I don't know if they know.
Shut up.
They've never brought it up to me.
Okay, so they're not in social media, like, they're not
They are. Okay, things got really rocky with them when me and my son's father broke up. Things got really rocky with them because I felt like they thought that I, like, left to go, like, party and, like, live a crazy lifestyle.
She's like, no, I went to go get BBLs.
Literally. But I feel like they think that I'm, like, not being a good mom.
Right.
So things got super rocky with them. Like, I went through a period with them where I didn't talk to them. Like, it was, like, maybe, like, 3 months, which is a long time because I was super close to my mom, especially. Right. So, and then I had talked to them for the first time at my son's birthday. So, yeah, things were super rocky with them. And I feel like I'm sure that they know. I have them blocked on everything. Okay. I'm sure that they know now because I'm sure they see clips, comments, other people's videos. And then I've talked about it on a podcast before. So I'm like, if they saw the podcast, they know.
They have to.
But they've never brought it up to me ever.
Right.
But I always think about that. Like, always holding my breath around them. But, I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm just at a point in my life now where I'm like, I'm an adult. And at the end of the day, like, I love them so much and I respect their opinion. But they're not going to pay my bills for me.
Exactly. Or your sons.
Yeah.
Like, you have a whole nother... You have a human.
Yeah.
Like, to worry about. How is your relationship with him? Like, what is, like, your... Obviously, you know, you love him, you adore him. Yes. How is it, like... I don't know. Like, what is... Like, how is...
baby. Like, I love him so much. That's my baby. I literally saw him this morning because I went to give his dad a ride. And I'm just like, oh, my gosh, I miss him so much. Like, a week away from him feels like...
Oh, so he goes for, like, a week?
Yes, we do weeks at a time.
Oh,
so we switch off every Friday. It's because we were doing 2 days, and then that was, like, And then we started doing 3 days, and it was so unstable. Like, it's like we were starting to get a routine with him, and then I have to give him back.
You feel like, yeah, that's a little bit more confusing for him. Yeah.
So it's hard.
A week is crazy.
The dad tried doing a month. I was like, no, you're crazy. He'll be a whole nother baby by the time I get him back.
He doesn't live, or like you guys don't live near each other?
We were like 18 minutes. No, not 18 minutes. We're literally 8 minutes away, but I recently just moved, and now I'm like 45 minutes away from him. Yeah, but
it works out well for
yeah.
him.
Yeah.
What about school? He doesn't go to school yet. He's a baby still. Yeah.
And that too is like where I'm like, oh, like it's
When
gonna
the
get
time
so
comes.
rough because we're super like big on like we think we're gonna homeschool him.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
I feel
Like,
like
what are your reasons?
I just feel like I have so much like time on my hands, and I have a lot of downtime that I'd rather my son be at home with me versus like another adult for 8 hours of the day where he's not getting like one-on-one time.
Yeah.
And also I feel like public schools are scary and like weird these days.
I agree because I don't know. Like, I just feel like I know there's bullies, even there's baby bullies, and it's sad.
Yes.
And it's like, I don't know if I want to do that. And not everyone necessarily agrees with the way, like, maybe there's certain things like in school that I don't agree that they teach.
Yes.
But it's like, there's things that I don't want my kid to learn that. I feel like there's other things to know. Like, when I grew up, they never taught me how to write a check. They never taught me, like, I'm saying like in high school and all that shit too. Like there's things that they don't teach you. And I feel like 3 is like a prime age to like teach. I don't know. Just like, I feel like they baby them a little bit. Like, I don't know.
Yes, honestly, like everyone's telling me like, oh, when are my family's like, when are you gonna sign him up for preschool? I'm like, he already knows all of that stuff. Like, my son is super smart.
Right.
He knows all of that and more. So I'm like, I'd rather like teach him one-on-one at his pace when he could be learning like different things versus him sitting in a classroom of 35 kids with a different adult. Like, he's gonna be spending like 6 hours a day with another person when he could be with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I would rather hire a tutor or a teacher to come to my house and be in the safety of my own home.
I guess the only thing that it was probably be like, it's for some parents, for sure. I know my cousin, I have a cousin that homeschools all 4 of her kids.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, damn, like, you don't catch a break at all.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And the kids socializing with other people, like, I get that. So it's like finding that balance too of like, you know, he has to live a normal life and like go to the park and play with friends and, you know, see other people. So I get that, but girl, you're the mom. You do whatever the hell you want. Like, and that's what I don't like about social media is like, they paint this picture and they feel like because they see something, they're able to create this whole story about you and control your narrative when in reality, it's not that. How do you handle, obviously, like the hate and just everything?
Honestly, I'm so good at blocking out everything.
Good.
Like, I don't respond to anything. There was only one time where I did lash out. We had gone to Hawaii with all my friends, and it was my time to not have my son. And everyone, like, we were on live, and everyone was coming for me, like, girl, go be a mom, go take care of your kid.
Like, mom shaming
what
drives me crazy.
am I supposed to do when it's his, like, what do people think? Like, when it's his dad's turn to have him, what am I supposed to do? And that's what I think, like, from my parents, too. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, sit at home crying and, like, staring at a picture of him? Like, genuinely, what am I supposed to do? Yeah. If I don't have him, it's more than okay for me to go to Hawaii. I didn't take my time that I was supposed to have my son and say, hey, can you guys watch him so I could go to Hawaii?
Yeah.
Like, I used my time.
I feel like that's different. Yeah.
Right. I used the time that his dad had to be with him to go on vacation.
And I don't think there's anything bad with that at all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was the only time that I've ever lashed out on social media. But for the most part, I keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
When people say stuff. I'm like,
I mean, at this point, again, they're not paying your bills.
Yeah.
You know, I say social media. I'm not saying, you know, your parents. And I'm sure that, you know, your parents have, you know, good intentions. Yeah. And, like, obviously, they know they've lived longer than everybody. And but you're grown now. You're a mom. Like, I feel like everything changes. And I'm excited for you and for, for your baby Noah and the possibilities for you and, what you can do. What are the plans for you? What do you feel like now that, okay, you're a mom, obviously shit gets more serious. Life is like, you put life into another perspective. Where are you at now?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I feel like a lot of things, like I always have to like, what is that? Like I always have to like double think everything because I'm like, what about my son and his dad?
Yeah.
Like I can't just buy a house anywhere. I always have to think like, okay, well, I need to be close to his dad. So a lot of like the decisions that I make now, I always have to think about my son and like what his dad is doing. So it's like I always have to be connected to the dad.
Yeah.
So like me living like 45 minutes away right now, I'm like, dang. And I'm thinking like, hopefully this is going to be my last year renting and next year I'll be actually buying a house. And I'm like, are we supposed to buy houses in the same city? Like, yeah, so definitely like a lot to think about with him.
With that.
But
what about your career? What do you feel like you're...
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like this year I definitely took a break and I slacked too much. But I feel like I had like such a strict dad and then I got pregnant and then I had the baby. So like this time like on my own, I almost used it as like a way to experience life. And I don't have any regrets because I feel like this was my first time on a plane.
Right. Oh, you feel like you grew up a little bit too fast, like because you had your baby young?
Yes. And I wasn't like with my son's dad, all we did was like be at home and be a family. Like we never went out.
Oh yeah, you skipped the whole everything.
Yes. So I feel like now I finally got to like, I never went to clubs, never traveled, never
single,
did
girl.
any of that. So now I use like this whole year to like do like experience life, and I don't regret it, but I definitely took a lot of time away from my social media. Right. So yeah, this year I'm definitely want to like get back on YouTube and get back on my grind because I was slacking.
Yeah, and I think that's fine though. Like I don't want to call it slacking. I want to call it like, a much needed, probably a break. Yeah. Like you're recalibrating. Like life happens so fast for you and you're just like, who am I? Like, what am I doing? And that's normal. Like, yeah, you were with him at, what did you say, 18, 19?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you were with him at that, and then you had the baby. You're practically married.
Yeah.
You're married, and like, so I get it. So don't feel bad. Do not feel bad for where you're at right now. You're successful. You're a great mom. You're beautiful, and it's okay. Like, time, there's always going to be time. It's never too late, and I just, I'm 27 and I feel like I still don't even feel like what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like, I'm not gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna keep continuing podcasting for the rest of my life. Like, or if I get married the day tomorrow. Like, life is constantly changing, and we're meant to go ahead and grow and learn with it. It doesn't stop. You just grow with it, and taking those breaks is so necessary. It's better for you. You went through a lot. You had depression. You had, your postpartum and everything. Like. So don't be hard on yourself. You're doing the best that you can in every way. And you have to honor the good things that you have done, and like maybe it didn't work out with the baby daddy, and that's okay. There's always a reason why, but you're successful. You have a house, you have a badass car, your body's bomb, your kid is healthy, he's happy, your relationships are good, and that's it. And life is going to continue to grow and be good.
Yeah. So much to be thankful for.
For sure. I 1,000% agree. But I appreciate you being here and sharing your heart and your story. And I loved getting to know you and the side that probably a lot of people don't see. So I appreciate you opening your heart and connecting with me. Please share your socials so that people can go ahead and follow you and Noah and all your dreams and everything that you'll be doing.
Oh my gosh. Like my TikTok got hacked, so my username is crazy. But if you guys just search up Bella and then my last name Retamosa, you can find me on everything.
Okay, perfect. Make sure you guys follow her journey, support her. We love women supporting women, so don't be a hating ass woman, please. No one likes that. We are all here to love and support and just be there for one another. And if you ever need anything, I am here. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.
Overcomfort Podcast is a production of iHeart's My Cultura podcast network.